Hey, what's up guys? Rob here, and I'm the Sci-Fi Horror Guy. Thank you very much for tuning in today, and welcome back to another list video. It's not a tag video this time, eh? I really like doing list videos. I am a top 10 guy. I love top 10 videos. But today, I'm actually going to participate in a top 5. And this is actually a segment called Thrill Me Thursdays. And this idea was from, hey, isn't that Devon Graham? I came up with top 5 70s horror films. Now, this list was hard. Like I said, I'm a top 10 guy, and top 5 just makes it harder. But there are so many good films in the 1970s. Carrie, The Exorcist, Dawn of the Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween. I can go on and on, okay? So many great films. This list was hard. But I think I have a pretty, I want to say standard list, because my top 5 is just like duh. Like, it's not going to blow anybody away or anything like that. This list is just, you know, like I said, standard. But I do want to mention some of these other films that didn't make my list, and they probably would, like I said, if it was top 10. So yeah, a lot of honorable mentions that I want to talk about here. First one, of course, is Last House on the Left. Pretty crazy film. Rape everywhere. Rape in the woods. And yeah, rape. Of course, The Exorcist. This movie, I still think this movie is overrated as the scariest movie of all time, as it says down there. It's, you know, noted as the scariest film. I definitely disagree. I want to tell you something. This movie didn't scare me. It actually disturbed me when she's at the hospital in that lab, and there's those loud machines trying to take blood from her. That scene disturbs me more than any other scene in this movie. That scene is crazy. Maybe it's because I just hate, those machines. They're so loud, and she's screaming. But, I mean, this movie's still good. It's really good. But, scariest movie of all time? Nah. At least not for me. Alright, of course, we got Torso. I believe that was 73. Is it 73? I think so. Yep. Then we got Deep Red, of course. Well, we got Carrie. They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. Brian De Palma, Sissy Spacek, John Travolta. We got the Omen films, you know, the original Omen, and then Damien. The Omen 2, which is awesome. A lot of great horror films from 1978, let me tell you. 78 was a great year. I just remember it like it was yesterday. I wasn't even here. Wasn't even born yet. But it was great. Anyway, the original Hills Have Eyes, of course. One of my personal favorites, I Spit on Your Grave. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. A little sci-fi here. Philip Kaufman directed this. You got Leonard Nimoy, Brooke Adams, Donald Sutherland. You also got Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, awesome film. Jaws 2. An underrated sequel that no one ever talks about. No one talks about Jaws 2, much like people don't talk about Rocky 2. To me, this movie's like Rocky 2. Okay? It's like what Rocky 2 is to Rocky. This is what, you know, this is Jaws 2, what, you know, what it is to the first Jaws. But Jaws 2. Of course, we have The Legacy with Sam Elliott. The original Piranha. This is a bootleg that I found at a thrift shop. Frogs. This movie, It's just weird, but it's fun. Of course, Phantasm. Now, you know, this would have made my list, but the ones I have here are just so damn good, and I love Phantasm, even though I prefer Phantasm 2. Phantasm 2 is just a little bit over the first one for me, but I love the first one. And when he picks up that coffin and he throws it in the back of the hearse, he just sits there and he's picking it up and he just throws it in there and he looks around to see if anyone's looking at him. The tall man. My God. Zombie. Or Zombie 2. A couple other ones that I don't have up here. Black Christmas, of course. That people probably say, well, why isn't that on your list? Well, it would have. It would have been top 10. The Car, 1977. Dracula, 1979 with Frank Langella. Awesome. So those are just some of the films that I thought I'd mention. I didn't mention Amityville Horror because I don't really care for the original. I love the remake, actually. But I love Amityville 2. Amityville 2 is a lot better than the first movie, in my opinion. But anyway, you get the drift here. So let's get into the top 5, starting with number 5, and that is Jaws. Jaws is like a masterpiece. It is, when you know the work that went into making this movie, and they had a lot of problems with the sharks they built. But, you know, the chemistry between, you know, Robert Shaw, Roy Scheider, and Richard Dreyfuss, like, it's so awesome. Like, the scariest part of this movie is not when the shark attacks, but when Robert Shaw, you know, when they're in the boat at night, out there in the ocean, and, you know, Quint tells that story. I mean, the bone-chilling story. Well, he'd been bitten in half below the waist. And when he bites you, those black eyes roll over white. When he looks at you, he doesn't seem to be living until he bites you. This this movie is a masterpiece. It is hands down the best shark movie. This is the movie that scarred me for life. Or, you know, I didn't want to go out in the ocean. I still don't. There's shark attacks. I looked on the news. There were like 2 shark attacks that happened in one day in different places. Man, I ain't going in the ocean. Screw that. But yeah, honestly, this movie scarred me. And you know, they even had a child death. And you notice, like, horror movies kind of steer away from children dying, or even showing a child dying, which is, I'm actually surprised that Halloween 2018 had a child death when Michael strangled that kid. I was actually really surprised. But in this, you have a shark eating a kid. So, this movie takes a lot of risks, so to say, but it just... It did it so well. I mean, honestly. Then you have that stupid bimbo in the beginning, you know, who goes swimming in the ocean at night. Come out in the water! You know, that woman actually got hurt in the beginning when she was getting dragged around. I think she, like, broke her rib or something like that. Anyway, Jaws, awesome. Awesome film. That comes in at number 5. Number 4 I've talked about a lot, and it is Alien. Sci-fi horror right here. Now, in my opinion, there's only 2 good Alien films, and that's Alien and Aliens. The rest can go to hell. I really don't care about the rest of them. But the first Alien, you know, I always talk about the John Hurt scene with the chest burster, you know, when they're all eating at the table, and he starts going into convulsions, and when that happens, it's just so disturbing. And the fact that there's only 1 alien in this one, you know, roaming the ship and like the dark corridors, and it just looks so creepy. The cinematography is just, it's the way they made it with, you know, certain shots and characters reacting. It's so awesome. Screenplay by Dan O'Bannon and a story by Dan O'Bannon, who did Return of the Living Dead. So, you know, awesome movie. Yeah, I don't need to even say any more. Number 3 is Halloween, 1978. I actually have 2 movies here, I believe, from 1978 in this list. 1978 was a killer year, like I said. I wasn't even born, but yeah, what a year. Anyway, what more can I say about the original Halloween that hasn't already been said? John Carpenter, he is the man. You know, this movie, one of the greatest slashers ever. Just an ordinary man, puts on a mask, stalks people, drives a station wagon around, and there's nothing intimidating about Michael Myers in this movie. There's nothing intimidating. He's not fucking 9 foot tall. Okay, he's not like overly aggressive, stabbing a nurse in the head, in the back of the head, like 30 freaking times, over and over and over and over, and going and grunting, you know, having a conniption fit. Like, honestly, you don't have that here. In the beginning of the movie, Michael, as a kid, stabs his sister Judith to death, and then he walks outside, and his parents are like, "Michael?" Takes his mask off, and he's just standing there like this. Like, oh shit, what did I do? I don't care what people say. That is a lot scarier, and I prefer that over Rob Zombie's shitty ass, you know, backwoods version. Like, you know, with the trashy family that curse every sentence they you know, every sentence they say, it's like curse, 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 fuck, 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 fuck. You know, it doesn't belong. Rob Zombie he needs to stick with other movies like House of 1,000 Corpses, Devil's Rejects, that kind of stuff. Lords of Salem, great. But this movie is... There's a fly over there. I need some chopsticks. Mr. Miyagi knew how to do it. But anyway, Halloween. You might be saying, why isn't this number 1? Because the other 2 movies I like more than this. But hey, it made it to number 3. Alright, moving on to number 2 is, of course, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974. Amazing film. Disturbing film. One of the most disturbing parts is when Sally has her head over the bucket and Grandpa is trying to hammer her head over the bucket and it starts bleeding a little bit. She's going, ah! She's going all crazy. She's screaming. Oh my God, what a performance. She jumps out the window. Leatherface is chasing her. The semi pulls up. The guy throws a wrench at his face. I always wondered, what happened to the semi-truck driver? The semi-truck driver runs the opposite direction, leaves his semi there. Sally, you know, she jumps in the back of a truck, and the truck drives the other way. And you watch that far away shot, it shows the truck driver running the other way. Where's he going? I mean, did Leatherface chase him? I mean, I know Leatherface was throwing a fit out in the road when he was swinging his chainsaw because he didn't get Sally. But what about the truck driver? Just turn around and go get his fat ass. Anyway. Texas... Sally! You don't think that guy tried to follow us, do you? Oh, there used to be a little creek behind, between those two old sheds. If I had any more fun, I don't think I'm going to be able to take it. This movie's awesome. You don't need all the blood and the gore. This movie proves that. You don't need to see a chainsaw cutting someone in half, even though that is cool. But you don't need all that. You don't need all that. That's number 2. Number 1 shouldn't even surprise anybody, because this movie is number 1 in 2 categories now. Dawn of the Dead, 1978. Hell yeah. I just did my top 10 favorite zombie films of all time. Go check out that video. Of course, this is a spoiler, I guess, for my number 1, but you probably already knew that. So, Dawn of the Dead is number 1 in my favorite zombie films of all time, and it's number 1 in my top 5 favorite 70s horror films. This movie is amazing. It is amazing. This is the Ultimate Edition DVD with the European version, the standard version, and then the extended. But you know what? This movie's about survival. These people are trying to deal with, you know, the zombie apocalypse pretty much, and they go into a mall and they try to make the mall their own place, which is what I've always wanted to do. You know, whenever I go into a mall, I'm like, okay, if this mall was closed down and we had it to ourselves, what would I do? I'd definitely stay out of the bra and panties section. I wouldn't go in any of those stores. I'd probably lock the gates and just not go in there. Why would I? I'd probably go to the video game store and just play video games a lot. And then the food court. I'd have to make my own damn food. But you know what? What would I don't even know what I would do if I had the mall to myself. Endless possibilities. I mean, really. This movie, I love the characters. I love the story. I love the way the zombies look. Nice cinematography, the faraway shots, you know, they do with that shows like the parking lot with all the zombies walking up to the mall in that perspective, like the aerial view or whatever. I mean, this movie's smart. You know, they're not only worried about zombies in this movie, but they're worried about looters. Tom Savini plays, you know, part of a biker gang that loots the mall. After they did all that work, the guys did all that work to seal the mall off. They locked the doors. They pull trucks in front of it so no one can get into the entrances and exits. And then they build a fake wall so no one knows that a stairway exists. And they did all that work. In the third act, these motherfuckers ruin everything. They shoot the gates open, all these zombies start flooding. They killed all the zombies in the mall to begin with. Because they had to lock the place down, so they just cleared the area. Cleared it all. And then these fucking bikers ruin everything. Should have shot them all. Anyway, Dawn of the Dead, definitely my favorite 70s horror film. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to start doing these segments now that I have a lot more time on my hands because I was working a lot as far as the job goes, but not as much now. It's kind of, I don't want to say, I don't want to say I'm not getting as much hours. I'm just saying that I've kind of pushed back a little bit with doing too much because it's just getting stressful and you know, hard. It's really hard. It's to where I just can't even rest at all. Go in at 7, come home at 3, and then go in at 4 and work till like 11. It's just like an all day. Yeah. Anyway, it's crazy stuff. So I'm going to start participating in the Slashback Saturdays in a lot of these segments. I'm going to try to anyway. But yeah, this is a pretty cool segment. And again, this was by, hey, isn't that Devon Graham? And again, this is not a tag video. This is just, you know, something to participate in. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Tell me what you think of some of the titles that I listed. And stay tuned for more content. See you next time.